Hello, all of my rad friends, and welcome back to another video. So, I guess today I'm going to be addressing where I was for 4 months. If you read the title of this video, if you click on this video, you already know. But basically, yeah, I'm pregnant. Yeah, I'm pregnant. So, this has been a very difficult time for me. Just like straight off the bat, health-wise, everything is 100% perfect, and I couldn't be happier or feel luckier to be blessed with this baby, and I'm very excited, but it has been difficult. There are a lot of side effects with pregnancy, as many of you may know, and you know, some people have better or worse experiences, and my experiences have been on the rougher side, so it's been really hard for me to make a video. And that's just talking about like the actual act of sitting down and filming and editing and doing all that. It's also been hard just stylistically to feel like I had anything to say on this channel. So I had no idea that pregnancy clothing was such a difficult, that it would be such a minefield for me. Some women can keep wearing most of their regular clothing depending on how their clothing fits. I wear a lot of tight clothing, and so pretty much almost immediately none of my clothes fit. My last video that I made, the high hips video, I was actually pregnant in that video, and I wasn't very far along, and already none of my clothes fit. I was just a few weeks pregnant and none of my clothes fit. That was difficult. And some women, they don't even start showing until they're, you know, into the second trimester, and I just extreme bloating right away. But it's made things really difficult. So I've basically been wearing a couple pairs of pregnancy pants and then like all of my regular tops, like stretching out my t-shirts, but that is not cutting it anymore. I really need maternity clothing. I had this idea that I was gonna be such a huge pregnant woman, and I had all these like vintage maternity clothes in mind, but as it turns out, those have been harder to find for me than I thought. A lot of vintage clothes, as you may or may not know if you're into vintage clothing or not, they tend to be smaller, and pretty much immediately upon getting pregnant, not only does your stomach get bigger, but your chest gets bigger as well. And that has been the hardest part for me, is to find vintage clothes that are big enough in the chest. And it's not great. I've been on like a lot of vintage sites, and I've had some issues getting clothing that was like not the measurements they said, or they said it was maternity clothing, but then you get it and it's actually just plus size clothing, which I can make a whole video about in and of itself, which is the difference between maternity clothes and plus size, how they're made and why they're not the same, but people will try to convince you that they are. I digress. It's also really hard to buy pregnancy clothes online if you're really unsure about sizing. They say order your pre-pregnancy size. Like if you're pregnant and you wear a size 10 or 12, just order a 10 or 12 maternity size. But they always have in the small print that they assume only 25-pound weight gain in pregnancy, which I guess would be like the minimal amount. So that would be just in my belly, but I've grown a lot of other places as well. You know, everything is changing size and shape, and so I've been really unsure of my sizing. I also just didn't want to go and buy a bunch of clothing all at once. That's super expensive, and I don't have the money to drop like $1,000. I mean, like when you're expecting a baby, you have a lot of other expenses on your mind than dropping a ton of money for maternity clothes. It's been on a strange battle, but I decided to do a Stitch Fix box of maternity clothes. Here it is. Why Stitch Fix? Why am I doing it this way? I've mentioned Stitch Fix on this channel before in the context of being like, that was dumb. Why did I think other people should pick out my clothes? But there are some good sides to it. I like to be able to try on clothes before I buy them. Stitch Fix, you get to try on the clothes. I have not found sources of maternity clothes that I can try on where I live, with the exception of a very picked over and unstocked section in the Target. This way I can try them on without having to like buy a whole bunch of clothes online, try them on, and then return them and hope for like a refund. This way I don't have to front the money, except for the styling fee. So there's a $20 styling fee. You guys may not know that I actually started this channel in 2018, and my primary content was Stitch Fix try-ons and Stitch Fix videos. I overall didn't like the service, and I actually removed those videos from my channel and then like rebooted the channel and restarted it in 2020. But actually some of my favorite pieces of clothing have also come from Stitch Fix. I've got some cool leopard leggings, some leopard shoes, like some tops, and a jean jacket that I still wear. So it hasn't been all bad. I don't think that the company really caters to my style, and that's ultimately why I didn't choose to continue it. But I'm to the point where like I need more clothes. My regular t-shirts are about stretched out, and I'm only at 22 weeks. I've got a lot of growing to do, and I need clothes now. So the past week I ordered a Stitch Fix. I ordered some other clothing online I'll make some videos about, but I just wanted to make a video about this because I could not find very many reviews of their clothing. I might actually do a second one, depending on how I feel about this box and the contents of it. I might do a second one, but that is putting the cart before the horse. Let's open this one and find out. I know that Stitch Fix became popular like 5 years ago, and I think a lot of people might know how it works, but they've actually changed how it works. I was very surprised. So a little quick mini review of that. The process now is that before you get a stylist styling your fix, you have an algorithm that picks out 10 items for you, and then they show you those 10 items. A stylist has not seen those items despite the fact that I think they try to like spin it like your stylist picked those out. And you can choose to have as many, like up to 5 of those 10 items they show you sent in your box. But you can also say, I don't want these at all, and have a human stylist pick them out. I feel like the algorithm definitely knows what I like. They have this section on the app where you can rate clothing, and in a section that is called Style for You, they show you, okay, these are clothes we think you'll love, and the clothes that have been on there have been really cool. Those are not necessarily clothes that they own. I think I read somewhere that like 80% or 90% of the clothes they show you in that quiz aren't actually clothes that they have or can offer you. Plus they're limited by like inventory, and it has to be the inventory in the warehouse that is closest to you, and blah, 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 blah. So just because they have the clothes in the app for your style doesn't mean that they can actually pick those clothes out and send them to you. And it doesn't mean that they will have anything that I would like maternity wise, because that Style for You section is still showing me non-maternity clothes. So I was very unsure if they would have anything I like. And the algorithm picked out like no shit, like 8 black tops and 2 black dresses or something. It was not great, but I selected a couple of them, and then I added a note that said, hey, I actually want some color too. I don't want to wear all black. I'm gonna try not to be very picky, because at this point I just need clothing, and I finally accepted the fact this is not a time for me to be fashionable. I just need clothes on my body, and I have nothing to wear, like nothing. So here we go. Let's get into opening this up. So right away we have this cute little bundle of clothing, and there is some color there. It's black and white, and then like a teal purple, so that's good. And then they have the return envelope, and there's an envelope with a little note from the stylist. So I'm gonna read that first and to see what the stylist has to say. I think that's one of my favorite parts of these boxes, was always talking to the stylist. And so the stylist says, congratulations, Alexia. Thank you for thinking of us for your maternity needs and scheduling a fix. I appreciate you taking the time to check out the preview option, a partner to us stylists. I'm glad you found a few items of interest, and I'm happy to jump in and fill in the rest with more colorful items as requested. I'm so glad you scooped up the black Kaylee jumpsuit to try. This modern piece is equally comfortable and stylish, and it's beyond versatile as well. How does it feel in person? I spotted it as well as a magenta pair of Beyond the Bump leggings in your freestyle cart. That's very interesting. They do have a shopping section on the app, and I had added a few items to the cart, and I was not aware that they could see what was in your cart. But anyway, unfortunately, I don't have the magenta pair available from my end, but I chose a lovely teal pair that I think you'll love just as much. I do have a pretty magenta tee though. I hope you like it, and I can't wait to hear. Cheers, Vanessa. That's very nice. And then they have a bunch of styling options for the items in your fix. So I'm happy to try this stuff on. But first, let's go through and hold up the items. And Pablo, you got to get away for this. I don't want to get cat hair on these clothes if I have to return them. The first item is this teal pair of leggings. And I really like the look of these. I have kind of gravitated towards certain colors in my wardrobe, and teal and magenta are two of like the two main colors that I use for like bright pops of color. So that's really fun because I do have accessories that will match this. So actually that's really great. I like this. And these are yoga pants. They are the Beyond the Bump Space Dye Love the Bump Maternity Pocket Midi Leggings, and they are $110. That is a lot for leggings, I guess, but if I do like the whole fix, there is a 25% discount. At the very least, I could get $20 off these, but I don't know. We'll see how they feel, how I like them, if they work for me, if they're not too small or too big. I don't know. Well, I have no idea how things fit me anymore, so I really can't tell, but I actually really like this color, and let me tell you, this fabric is so soft and already has my cat's hair on it. So he might have just claimed them for me. I don't know. The second item is, oh, this is the jumpsuit. So this is the Kaylee Sleeveless Maternity Jumpsuit. I was excited to try this. I've had my eye on like maternity overalls, stuff like that. But I really didn't, I've never had good luck with jumpsuits because the waist height is never high enough and then it always gives me a wedgie. But these are designed maternity, so they're designed to go over the bump. So there's going to be a lot of room there, hopefully. And these are looking good. I don't know, like, you just have to admit that when you're pregnant, you're never going to look like hot. Your butt's never going to look like awesome because it's not supposed to. It's kind of freeing not to have to worry about that, to just be like, if these fit on my body and I kind of like the style, we're in business. So that's the low bar that these clothes have to meet. And so far, I don't know. I feel from the looks of them, they're doing that. So let's move on to the next item. Which one is this? This must be the Kaylee Amandine Maternity Knit Dress. And that is black and white. And I think this was another one of the preview items that I thought would be good because it looked like it could be used for nursing afterwards. A lot of maternity clothing does double duty as nursing because your stomach does take a few months to go down. It's kind of crossed in the front and then you can just like, boop, you know. But this is a fun dress. I don't know, I like it. It's black and white. I like black clothing. I love accessorizing with fun colors. It's very basic. I think I'll like it. Yeah, it seems okay. The next item is what is this? This is the Mirabelle Maternity Fitted Ruched Tank. So a lot of maternity clothes have ruching on the side to help have room for the stomach. This is a black tank top. I'm going to be at my most pregnant in like the hottest month of the year, July. At least it's the hottest month of the year in Seattle usually. So having tank tops, a lot of my maternity clothes that I do have are more longer sleeve. I inherited some maternity clothes from family members and they had their babies in the winter. So I do have a couple maternity items and they are long sleeved. So having a tank top could be very useful. I'm not a huge tank top person, but I just need clothes to wear and I'm going to be very warm come summer. Oh, and then this is the last item. This is the magenta item. This is the other color that I really like adding to my wardrobe, is this sort of fuchsia magenta. And this is the Threads for Thought Giannina Maternity Fitted V-neck top. So that's here. Okay, well, I'm gonna go try these on and we'll do a little try on. And I'll come back and I'll give my review of the clothing and talk about how it fit, and we'll see what I'm deciding to keep. Fast forward now, I've tried the clothing on, so let's talk about the items while I show you here how they fit. The first item are the teal leggings. I actually really liked these. The fabric is soft. I thought they fit nicely in terms of like the length and the shape, but they are too small. And this is what I was afraid of if I went online and bought clothing, that I wouldn't have estimated my size right. I knew that I have put on like a little weight through my hips, not just my stomach, and I didn't know what size I was anymore. It was just very confusing. So I put my size into Stitch Fix that I think I would need a large, but these were a little small. So I'm exchanging them for an extra large. I really do like them. They're soft. They come all the way down. They are a bit more athleisure than I think I generally lean, but I have been doing prenatal yoga at home. And so it would be nice to have something that would work for that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The next item I tried on with the leggings was the fuchsia shirt. And I guess all I have to say is I like this color a lot. I do have some fun accessories that can match it. And this shirt is fine. It works. It's a shirt that fits. It's a maternity shirt. The fabric feels good. I like the color, so I'm gonna get it. That's it. It's very straightforward. The next item is the tank top. The tank top's actually a little big. It's like the straps are too long. This is very common. It's one of the reasons I don't buy tank tops. The straps are too long. I've got kind of smaller shoulders, and then when I pull it down so that the straps aren't too big, so it's not too big in the armpit circle hangs a little low, shows my bra. I don't know. I might like that it goes lower when it's really hot in the summer. I don't know. I think this is also fine. I'll need a tank top for when it's hot. It's fine. So I'm also keeping it. The price is pretty reasonable as well. The next item was the black and white dress. And when I say I hated this, I really hate it. I think it's ugly. I thought it would be more V-neck, but instead it crosses up a lot higher. I also don't really think this is an appropriate maternity dress. It comes up in the front, and maternity clothes are supposed to be longer in the front. That fabric has a lot more ways to go in the front. So then you end up with this look where like the fabric rides up in the front. It's really bad quality too. I don't think it's worth $58. It's like everything that I hate about fast fashion. I do think that the style of the wrap will be nice for nursing. I think that I'm trying to think like maybe after the baby is born and I'm not quite back in regular clothes yet, I think it would be useful to have something that is more nursing. But the point is that if I return this item, it will actually cost me money. You get a 25% discount if you keep all 5 items, and the 25% discount is greater than the cost of this item. So I'm going to keep the item and try to get some wear out of it. I'll wear it over the next couple months. I think that when I get really big, it'll be too short in the front, or it'll look even worse, but I'm gonna wear it. I'll probably wear it to work. It is a little bit more worky, so that's good, rather than some of these other clothes which are a bit more casual. So I'll wear it to work. I think I need to get some tights for it, but I'm gonna get it. I hate that I'm incentivized to buy something I hate, but that's life, I guess. And then the last item is the jumpsuit, and let me tell you guys, I loved this. I loved this. I've always wanted a jumpsuit, and I've never found one that worked for me. I have a really high waist and high hips, but because they already know I'm going to be wearing these way up by my boobs, they are long enough. So I'm like happy. This is great. Maternity jumpsuits fit me better, I guess, than regular jumpsuits, and I'm really excited. I tried this on without a top underneath, but I know I can also wear tops underneath. I have a few boxy crop tops that I will definitely still fit like from here up that I think would look really, really cute with it too. So I can wear it with clothes that I already own, in addition to just wearing it with some of my maternity shirt. And I don't know, it's just like fun. I really love it. I'm really excited about the jumpsuit. The jumpsuit was a huge hit. The teal leggings, the magenta top, and the jumpsuit were my 3 favorite things. And the 2 items that the stylist picked out are my 2 favorite like non-black colors to wear. So all in all, I'm gonna keep this 5 for 5 Stitch Fix. That's never happened before with me, and I've had a lot of Stitch Fixes in the past. So yeah, that is my Stitch Fix for maternity clothes, you guys. In general, I think Stitch Fix in general has a lot to offer. If you're someone like me who really likes to try clothing on and gets sometimes overwhelmed in stores, and I just have a hard time finding clothes I like in stores. I don't know. If you couldn't tell from this whole channel, I have a hard time finding clothes that fit me right. And so buying online is rarely something that works out for me. And Stitch Fix kind of allows you to have access to a larger amount of clothing that like you do online, but it allows you the ability to try things on without having to first purchase them and then return them and hope that the return policy is good, and et cetera, et cetera. So normally in the past I found it like not worth the trouble just for regular clothing, but in a dire situation, like when you need almost an entire new wardrobe, this is a really perfect option. So yay Stitch Fix, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.